He's big, he's green, and he's coming for your guns. What does the Jolly Green Giant's firearm buyback program mean for the country's gun owners? From The Onion and Onion Public Radio, I'm Leslie Price, and this is The Topical. Stay with us. So you can't make rent again this month? Pathetic. Well, Cash App isn't just the #1 finance app in the App Store. It's also the easiest way to avoid looking your dad in the eye when you go crawling back to ask him for money. And if you download Cash App today using the promo code Topical, Cash App will give you $10. But they're only doing it because they feel sorry for your dad always having to foot the bill. Cash App. Dads love it. Debate around gun control is reaching a fever pitch as mass shootings become a regular part of America's news cycle, but some corporations aren't waiting around for Congress to take action. The vegetable packing company Green Giant announced this week that they're rolling out a buyback program where gun owners can trade in their firearms for green beans. OPR journalist Alan Potts has been following the story and joins me now with the details. Hello, Alan.
Hi, Leslie.
So tell us a little more about this buyback program.
Well, Green Giant is calling it their new Guns for Green Beans initiative, where participating gun owners can receive up to 30 pounds of frozen or canned beans for each weapon they trade in. The company hopes this will incentivize people who would otherwise be reticent to hand over their weapons. Here's Green Giant spokesperson Lynn Evers.
Green Giant is committed to putting an end to the senseless gun violence plaguing this great country. Through this program, consumers can trade in their firearms for an equivalent amount of green beans, so we can once and for all get these guns out of our homes and off our streets and fill them with our delicious green beans.
Is the process really as straightforward as Green Giant claims?
Based on a pilot program in Minnesota, it's really that simple. Turn in a gun and receive your green beans the same day, no questions asked. And customers are able to choose between French-style, kitchen-sliced, frozen steamer bags, and even lightly sauced green beans depending on the weapon's caliber.
Oh, wow, you're making me hungry. And what's been the response from gun owners?
Well, I spoke with a few participants of the pilot program, and so far, the response has been positive.
When I first heard about the program, I thought, they can take my gun from my cold, dead hands. But now, I have over 200 pounds of green beans, and I can't wait to eat every last one.
I went straight home from the grocery store and made a green bean casserole. I've never felt more patriotic in my life.
I like to sprinkle little almonds on mine.
All right, so gun owners are on board, but I imagine the NRA isn't too happy.
That's right. In fact, the NRA announced yesterday that they are giving all vegetables an F rating unless Green Giant halts the program immediately, and are even warning consumers that this program could become mandatory if not stopped, tweeting out, quote, "First he'll come for your guns, but when the Jolly Green Giant comes for you, how will you defend yourself?"
I'd put that motherfucker in a chokehold. Any chance the NRA actually slows down the new program's momentum?
Well, Green Giant isn't backing down and has even introduced a controversial new anti-gun logo. It hits shelves this week and shows the iconic Jolly Green Giant standing on top of a pile of weapons that consumers have traded in for fresh, healthy green beans.
Well, we'll be sure to keep an eye on this. Excellent reporting as always, Alan. You know, green beans are my favorite vegetable.
Leslie, I am uninterested in your personal life.
Very well. Thank you, Alan.
Thank you.
And now for some heartwarming news to distract from the unstoppable crawl towards death that awaits us all. OPR reporter Andrew Dellard with the story of some high school students doing the right thing.
When students at Davidson High School in Michigan noticed 14-year-old freshman Brian Marsden sitting alone at lunch on his first day of school, they didn't just ignore him like other kids might.
We saw him sitting at the back of the cafeteria by himself, and he just seemed really sad.
They decided to step up and do something about it.
And he was kind of making everyone else sad too, so a bunch of us went over to his table and covered him up with some drapes.
Brian, once in plain sight for everyone to see, was covered head to toe in drapes so no one would have to look at him. All done out of the kindness of his classmates' hearts, and all captured on this video that is already going viral.
Here you go.
Oh, that's a lot better.
When I saw Brad or Brandon or whatever his name is, I just felt like I really needed to do something. And after we couldn't see him anymore, everyone started having a really good time with one another. And it was like that awkward moment never happened in the first place.
You could just see the relief wash over the room after we no longer had to watch Billy eating his chicken nuggets while pretending to read a book alone.
That's Principal Ella Schultz. Earlier today, she presented these students with the school's Do Gooder Award, an honor given to students who perform a public service.
They are are great role models for the rest of the students. I wouldn't be surprised to one day see them working to conceal the depressing side of the weak and vulnerable as leaders in their community.
And Principal Schultz may be right. Inspired by these students, Davidson officials have started a new campaign called Hide Thy Neighbor that reaches out to the city's lonely and often forgotten residents, like the elderly and homeless, and shields the rest of the community from having to see them. The idea has become so popular that initiative organizers say they have already reached their quota for donations of curtains and tarps big enough to cover the town's many desperate losers and pathetic nobodies. For OPR, I'm Andrew Dullard.
Always nice to see compassion making a comeback. Thank you, Andrew. Is there something interfering with your happiness, or is something preventing you from achieving your goals? Do you find yourself feeling numb or experiencing intense anxiety sometimes for no apparent reason? Do you feel like maybe everyone you know hates you and thinks you're a fraud? Like maybe they're talking about you behind your back, laughing at you about all the stupid things you say and do? Do you wonder if they're all hanging out together right now and didn't invite you on purpose? Do you feel that way? No? Well, lucky you smug son of a bitch. Ooh, here comes Mr. Perfect with no unhealthy relationships or addictive vices. Some of us have shit to work out, okay? It's judgmental folk like you that make me thankful there's BetterHelp. BetterHelp will match you with your own licensed professional therapist so you can receive professional counseling securely and online. And with this special offer for Topical listeners, you can get 10% off your first month at BetterHelp.com/topical. That's BetterHelp, HELP/topical. And remember, everyone, you are not a fraud or a bad person. You are a good podcast host, and lots of people respect you. Here's what else you need to know today. A 4-alarm fire ripped through 3 apartment buildings in New York's Upper East Side today, in total claiming 17 lives, but luckily no one you've heard of or anything. A new report today has found that having a lot on your plate right now is the best predictor of one more goddamn thing happening. The report also went on to conclude that it just never ends with this shit. And Victoria's Secret is under fire for promoting unrealistic beauty standards. Critics of the woman's beauty brands say the company crossed the line once again with their marketing of the new 3-cup bra. But Victoria's Secret is firing back today, insisting their sole mission is to empower each and every 3-breasted woman with their new line of brasiers. Well, I'd say that's just about enough booby news for one day. This has been The Topical. I'm Leslie Price. Join us again tomorrow when we bring a gun to the OPR offices just to see how people react. And don't forget to like and subscribe to The Topical wherever you get your podcast. If you do and you really want to hold our gun, we might just let you. See you tomorrow.